It's something we do every single second of every day, usually without even giving it a second thought. I'm talking about movement. It's really the essence of how we interact with the world.
Okay, let's try a little experiment. Right now, wherever you are, just try to sit completely still. No fidgeting, no shifting your weight, just total stillness. So the big question is, are you really not moving?
Yeah, of course not. No way. Even when you think you're perfectly still, your eyes are blinking, you're breathing in and out, your heart is beating, your body is basically a constant hive of activity. Bottom line, movement is life.
So that brings us to the big question for this whole explainer. How? How does this incredible machine, our body, do all of that? Everything from a tiny little blink to a full-on sprint. Well, let's dive in and break it down.
All right, first stop on our journey, figuring out how we bend. Think about it. Our bodies are built on this, rigid framework. So how on earth do we manage to fold and twist and turn? Well, the answer is actually a lot simpler than you might think.
The whole secret? It's in our joints. A joint is, pretty simply, just the spot where two or more bones meet up. They are the absolute key to bending, but as we're about to find out, not all joints are created equal. So here we've got the two main types of joints that let us move around. You've got your hinge joints. Think about your elbow or your knee. They work, well, just like a door hinge, letting you move back and forth. Then you've got the ball and socket joints, like in your shoulder or hip. That design, kind of like a ball sitting in a little bowl, is what gives you that amazing all directions range of motion.
But, sometimes the best joint is one that doesn't move at all. Take the bones in your skull, for example. They're all fused together with these things called fixed joints. And what this does is create a super solid protective helmet for, you guessed it, the most important organ in your body, your brain.
Okay, so we've got it. Joints are the hinges. Makes sense. But what exactly are they connecting? What's the actual framework that needs all these joints in the first place?
Well, that framework, of course, is your skeleton.
206. Just take a look at that number for a second. It might seem kind of random, just a number on the screen, but it is so important to how you're built. But why?
Because that is the number of bones in an adult human skeleton. And this internal framework, it's doing two absolutely critical jobs. First, it gives your body its basic shape. And second, it acts like a built-in suit of armor for your most important organs.
Just think about it. Your skull is basically a hermit for your brain. Your rib cage, that's a protective box built right around your heart and lungs. And your backbone, this amazing flexible column of 33 little bones called vertebrae, it's there to shield that super delicate spinal cord running right through it.
But hey, the framework isn't all hard bone. Go on, feel the top of your ear for a second. See how it's firm but flexible? Yeah, that's cartilage. It's another key part of the skeleton, and it also acts as this smooth, protective cushion inside your joints. All right, let's recap. We've got a framework of bones and cartilage. We've got the hinges, our joints. But none of that stuff moves by itself. It's just sitting there. So, what's the engine? Where does the power come from to actually make it all go?
Well, that power comes from your muscles. They are the real engines that make this whole amazing system go. And the way it works is actually beautifully simple. A muscle, it works by contracting. That just means it gets shorter and tighter. And when it shortens, it pulls on whatever bone it's attached to. That pull, that's what creates movement. Simple as that.
But here's where it gets really clever. Muscles can't work alone. They always work in pairs. So look at your arm for a sec. To bend it, your bicep muscle contracts, right? And at the exact same time, its partner, the tricep, relaxes. Then, to straighten your arm back out, they just switch jobs. The tricep contracts and the bicep relaxes. It's this constant, perfectly coordinated dance. And this all comes down to the single most important rule you need to know about muscles. A muscle can only pull. It can never, ever push. And that simple fact, that's the whole reason they have to work in pairs. You need one to pull a bone one way and its partner to pull it right back. This whole bone and muscle system is just a brilliant piece of engineering, isn't it? But is it the only way life gets around? Is this the only solution to the problem of movement? Let's look a little beyond ourselves, shall we?
Because when we start looking across the animal kingdom, oh man, we find that nature has come up with some wildly different and honestly equally brilliant ways to solve this whole how to move problem.
Okay, first up, the earthworm. No bones, not a single one.
It gets around by squeezing these rings of muscle all along its body, using tiny little bristles to grip the soil. Then you've got birds. They have bones, sure, but they're hollow and super lightweight, perfect for flying. And they're powered by these massive breast muscles to flap their wings. And snakes, they use that super long, flexible backbone and all their ribs to create these loops. Each loop pushes off the ground, and that's what shoots them forward so fast.
So what does all this show us? That movement is this universal challenge, right? And life, in all its incredible diversity, has found just an amazing variety of ways to solve it. From a worm wiggling in the dirt to a bird soaring in the sky, there is no single right way to get around.
And you know, this brings us to a final thought from someone who was thinking about this thousands of years ago, the ancient philosopher Aristotle. He asked pretty much the same question, and it's a question that kind of reminds us that even your simplest, tiniest movement is part of this huge, fascinating story. So, why does your body move the way it does? Well, now you know the secret. It's all about that framework of bone hinged by joints and powered by the pull of your muscles.